It's alive. Oh, man. All right, let's see who's all here today. All righty now. Well, welcome back. Another Daddy Duck in the Blind, sponsored by Comp and Choke and Salt Creek Custom Ammo. As you all gets in here tonight, we're just going to have a sit down, old-fashioned chat. See what everybody's doing. When you're coming in, just do me a favor and comment down below who's here, and if you're new to the channel, let me know where you're at. But here we just kind of kick back. Stover Made Knives. How you doing? First time I've seen you in here. Just picked up a Mossy Oak Bottomland Sweet 16. I got one myself, buddy. I love mine. I actually love it. I will tell you some things about it here in a minute. Dave, what's going on? Christopher, how's it going? Long time no see. Stover Made Knives. Where you from, man? And I got mine. I've had mine going on a year now. I absolutely love it, but I have had some issues with it, and I'm going to do a video, a 1 year in review kind of thing. But I will say, North Georgia. Okay, cool beans. I will say this. I do not like the choke tubes it comes with. Mine, when I got mine, they were not. Hey, Ashley, how you doing? Long time. Where you been hiding? Hey, Craig. They are not. When you put a micrometer on them, they're not exactly true in their sizes. So I went to and got Comp and Choke, and I now have all Comp and Choke tubes for my Sweet 16. The other thing I would get, well, you can get Comp and Choke. Listen, this show is sponsored by Comp and Choke, so I'm just going to tell you right now, I love them. They pattern great. I have yet to shoot anything, any of my loads, whether it's turkey loads, duck loads, dove loads, that are not patterning absolutely excellent. Then I love it. The other problem I had with the Sweet 16 is it quit cycling, and we could not figure out what was wrong. And I took it to my gunsmith, local gunsmith, to have it looked at. Same gunsmith. He owns a gun shop. It's where I bought the gun. I was thinking I was going to have to send it back. And they looked at it, and it did not have a firing pin spring in it. And okay, I'll let you know in here in just a second. But it did not have a firing pin spring. And we know this. There was another gun that came in, another Sweet 16 Browning, that brand new, one of the brand new guns, Sweet 16s. It did not have a firing pin spring. And the owner had actually bent his firing pin shooting shells. So they had to replace the firing pin and put a spring in it. So just something to be aware of. Now, as far as choke tubes and your duck hunting, that is all going to depend. Hey, Jeff, what's going on? That is all going to depend on what you're going to be shooting. Okay. Are you going to be shooting steel shot? Are you going to be shooting bismuth? Or are you going to be shooting TSS? Because it does make a difference. I have not shot steel out of my gun. I don't shoot steel anymore. I'm either shooting bismuth or I'm shooting TSS. So the question you have to ask now, I have to ask when you say what choke is, what are you going to be shooting? Now I can tell you what I shoot and may help you out, or if you just tell me what you normally shoot, and then we'll try to go from there. As far as what I shoot Salt Creek custom ammo, and I shoot number 5s. I shoot number 7s in bismuth. And as far as TSS goes, I shoot number 9s. Now, I've had good results with the 5s and the 7s at decoying ranges, which is 35 yards and in, with a modified choke tube. If I'm hunting in the swamp, I'm going to put an improved cylinder in it. I shoot TSS for turkeys, bismuth for waterfowl. Okay. When you're shooting TSS, you're going to want a more open choke tube. I was shooting number 9s TSS last duck season at swans. I shot my first swan last year, my first swan hunt, my first swan with my Sweet 16, shooting number 9 TSS. And I was shooting an improved cylinder, and I shot that bird at 40 yards. I have patterned number 9 TSS, and it seems to pattern better with either a cylinder tube or a skeet tube. But at the time, all I had was an improved cylinder. That's all I had when I went on that swan hunt. I got the skeet and the cylinder later on, and I absolutely had better patterns the more open I went. So there you go. But Comp and Choke makes they make the DS style tubes. They don't, as far as I know, they don't make anything as far as a waterfowl choke. So I would most definitely get, if you're going to shoot bismuth, what's going on? If you're going to shoot bismuth, I don't know where you're hunting at, if you're hunting open water or if you're hunting timber. But if you're hunting timber, I would definitely get an improved cylinder. If you're going to go more open water, I would get a modified if you're going to stick with bismuth. I have shot Boss number 5s out of it with great results, again, with modified and improved cylinder. So, but I strictly shoot now Salt Creek custom ammo. And if you give me some time, I'm supposed to be getting some new ammo, hopefully right after the turkey season is over. We're gonna start trying to develop a better waterfowl load, and I'm kind of excited. We've been talking about it for a while, so we're gonna have some stuff made up, and I'm gonna be doing some videos on it with nothing but the Sweet 16. So stay tuned for that. I shot a couple weeks, I guess it's been a couple weeks ago, I put a video out on Salt Creek's TSS. And I was shooting a full choke that day. And why? Because I wanted to. And it's still I was shooting at 40 yards, and it was a great pattern. Yeah, it holds true. Yes and no. You're still going to get a good pattern in that 30-inch circle, but if you're trying to dial it in until that turkey's head, I mean, it's like this, right? You're trying to dial it in. I would go a tighter choke, and I went with the standard full choke. Hold on a second, let me get them. I just took this one out of the gun. I just took that one out of the gun. I don't know if you can read that or not, but that is the skeet tube. There you go. SK. That's the skeet tube for comp and choke. And, you know, hey, listen, comp and choke is made right there in Georgia. Okay. It's a Georgia company. But I used this right here was my primary waterfowl choke tube last year, and that's an improved cylinder. I never changed it out for the whole season. It stayed in my gun the whole season, and I shot everything. I shot number fives, fives and sevens in bismuth, and I shot nines with TSS. I had the skeet tube in here recently. I was shooting some clay pigeons when I found out that my gun, the spring was broke or didn't have a spring in it, the firing pin spring. And I went and that's what we were shooting skeet that day, and I just had the skeet tube in. I'll put that back in there in a minute. But I love comp and choke, dude. I mean, I've shot kicks, which, comp and choke and kicks are basically in the same building. They're two different companies, but they're in the same building. And they were owned, I believe it was like brothers or something. And I believe that's what it was. Brothers that owned it. That one owned kicks and one owned comp and choke. I believe that's how that went. I believe that's the story. Don't hold me to that. Don't jump up and tell me I'm lying. I think that's what happened. And so anyway, that's what I use. And I have had great results. But again, I'm coming out with I'm not saying I am, Salt Creek Custom Ammo, along with me, are trying to develop what I call the perfect 16 gauge waterfowl load. And it should take care of puddle ducks, divers, and swans or geese. I know TSS is expensive. I have a hard time affording it. But that number 9 TSS is whew, you just won't kill them. You're going to kill them, pluck them, clean them, and they'll be ready to cook when you finish shooting. So I really do like the stuff. But yes, it is bad, very bad. I'm going to be shooting probably bismuth this year. I like bismuth. I like TSS too, but I like bismuth, and it's what I can afford, to be quite honest. So yeah, you heard right. I test their ammo, but I can't. They don't send me gobs of it. It's just enough to test and try to find out what's going on. I'm going to be shooting Salt Creek Custom Ammo bismuth this year. I have a bunch of Boss number 5s, so I won't be getting any 5s from Salt Creek. I will probably be getting a number 7 bismuth, or if we get this load that we are talking about and get it perfected, I'll probably be shooting this a new. I wouldn't say it's not new to the world, but it's going to be new for the company. A new load, but it will be 16. Appreciate the questions, brother. I really do. Man, this is awesome. I like it when people ask me stuff like this. My phone's going off, and don't people know I'm sitting here trying to do live streams on Monday nights? If I can get Keith in here, let me shoot Keith a message. Keith is the owner of Salt Creek Custom. Maybe I can get him in here tonight. Just send him a quick one. Appreciate that, Anti. Thank you so much. But yeah, man. I mean, other than the little problem that I had with the fire and pin spring, and once I changed out the choke tubes, yeah, my pattern started looking a whole lot better. I mean, a lot better, and I like it. I will say, just like any gun, any new gun that you get, take it to the range first, shoot, and pattern that gun. Mine shot high and to the left, so I had to adjust it. And once we got it dialed in, it shoots where I want it to shoot now. Hopefully we're gonna have a good season this year. I haven't heard any reports. Mine too shoots high and left, just a little. Yep. Change out your shim. Go ahead and You came with a shim package. Go ahead and start changing it out. And all you're doing is taking the buttstock off, the recoil pad off of it. Take the buttstock off, and change out your shim. It's very easy to do. I did mine. Mine was shooting high to the left. I mean, I took it out of the box and went to the skeet range and started shooting. And I always pattern before I do this, and I didn't do it that day because I've been shooting a Browning, A5 16 gauge for years, and it's perfect. When I throw it up, it's perfect. I threw this up. I thought it was perfect, but that just a little adjustment in that shim made a world of difference. And I went from not hitting a thing to smashing clays quick. So get that changed out. I have a set of the comp and choke tubes. Again, these are not waterfowl tubes. They're straight up DS tubes. I got the full. I have the modified, the improved the improved cylinder, the skeet, and the cylinder. And I tell you, but as far as, if you're shooting steel, which I hope everybody's kind of getting away from steel. Don't get me wrong, steel's good. All right, listen, steel is good stuff. It's still it's gotten a lot better since the beginning. But bismuth is a whole lot better, and TSS is way better. So Charles, what's going on, my brother? If y'all haven't already, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button for me. It helps in the algorithm. Call your people, tell them to come on in. Yeah, it's heavy on the wallet, dude. There's no doubt about that. It is. There's no getting around that. I think once TSS really takes off, if you I don't know how old you are, but when I started duck hunting, we were shooting lead, and when it came about, we had to shoot steel. I mean, that was expensive stuff. I mean, we had to change to shoot steel. It wasn't the shot wasn't any good. I mean, the shells they were making were not any good. The ballistics weren't any good, and it was expensive. But as the years went on, it started getting less and less expensive, but the shells started getting better and better. The loads and everything started getting better. Bismuth has done the same thing. I remember when bismuth came out, it was way up there, and it has gone down in price. Shells have gotten better. Bismuth has taken off, and relatively speaking, TSS is kind of brand new. Relatively speaking, so I think it'll come down eventually. But you can't beat it. I mean, just straight up can't beat it. It is some good stuff. It really is. And Keith over at Salt Creek Custom, he knows what he's doing, and they make a jam up. They'll make a jam up shell, and they can customize your shells too. If you need something in particular, and you're looking for something in particular, they can customize it. I don't know how many of y'all follow me on Instagram or TikTok, but I've posted some videos over there of their different loads as well. So, they've got it going on. They got it going on. Yeah, I remember when Heavy Shot came out. Yeah, it was nothing but bismuth for me, Boss War Chief, and Salt Creek Ammo. Yes, sir. Hey, listen, Boss makes some good stuff. They do. I've got a 3/4 of a case of number 5s behind me that I bought before I started with Salt Creek. And I mean, I got to shoot it. I mean, it's not just going to sit there. But I have had real good experiences with the number 7 bismuth in about a 1 to 1 1/8 ounce load. Believe it or not, I shot last year. We were shooting mallards, wood ducks, teal, but we were shooting up to mallards last year with number 7 bismuth, and crushing them. And then I shot all my 7s out, and I didn't have anything else, so ended up finishing the season out with some hoarded number 9 TSS M16 gauge, and those were really smashing them. It was impressive stuff. Hopefully this year, hopefully everything works out. This year we're going to do a 410 hunt, and of course it'll be strictly TSS. But we're going to shoot 410s on at least one hunt this year, just to give y'all something a little bit different. Christopher says, I need woody shells that aim better. That's funny, dude. You just get out in front, and if you think you're in front, and if you think you're far enough in front, push it out some more. I'll tell you, a wood duck, I call them summer ducks. So if you hear me slip up and say summer duck, I'm talking about wood ducks. But they'll screw you in the mud sometimes. I had 2 come in on me last year. They were decoying in. I mean, we had called, and they actually turned, and they were just a pair of them, and they were just bombing in. and they did some of their little aerobatics, and they screwed me in the mud and left me holding nothing but an empty gun. Those 7s have a heck of a pellet count, dude. I think there's 300 and something pellets. So you're looking, if I remember right, I did a video on them, and I think it was like 98% at a 35 yards. It was nuts. 95 to 98%, if I remember right. It was nuts. I shot. I know y'all gonna laugh at this, but a couple of years ago, I was in North Carolina. We were goose hunting, and all I had was number 5s bismuth and number 7 bismuth, and 35 yards. What's up, RD? And the geese didn't do anything. We didn't even see a goose that morning. Well, we went out, we decided to go out and shoot doves, and I thought I had packed a case of dove loads in the truck, and when I went to digging around, there was no dove loads. All I had was number 7s. I had 3 boxes of number 7 bismuth. That's all I had. And I ended up shooting doves with number 7 bismuth. But you can, Craig's in here and he can attest to it. He actually said I got mad at him because I was crushing them. I was absolutely crushing those doves. Shooting improved cylinder. But as far as the ducks, we were shooting. I can't find any low brass 7/8 or 8s to shoot close with, driving me nuts. Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time finding that in bismuth. But I tell you what, if Keith will come in here, I sent him a message. He makes a vintage load. I know he makes it for the 12 gauge. I'm not sure if he makes it for the 16 or not. But he makes a vintage load, which would probably be your ticket if you're shooting close with. Oh, I can find 7.5 and 8s low brass all day long. I can get that every day. As far as lead goes, I can get that every day. There's not a problem with that. And I shoot generally, yeah, Keith will make whatever you want. But I shoot Fiocchi when it comes to dove loads. I've had good results with them, so I'm just going to keep shooting them. But 16 gauge shells aren't cheap to begin with. They were like $13 a box for a box of dove loads, which is outrageous. But if you're looking for low brass shells, you should be able to get those in the store. But if not, if you're looking for low brass to shoot wood ducks with or teal, I'd give Keith a call, man. See what he can come up with. RD, tell Noah I said hey. Roger Sporting Goods had all the low brass lead you want. Well, there you go. Oh, man. So what's up with you guys? He hadn't heard you yet. I know it. I said I'm a dadgum. Oh, Noah hasn't heard me yet? What's up with him, man? He's usually right there at the computer waiting on me to come on. Noah. Okay, I got you. Oh, soccer life. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I talked to 5 guys today, and at least 5 different guys today. I was trying to get them on here for tonight, and they all said ball practice or ball games or soccer or something. Like, man. Oh, man. Hold on one second, guys. If Keith does show up tonight in here, it's his birthday, so y'all tell him happy birthday if he shows up. You went to the restaurant? What restaurant? I went to the restaurant? You went to the restaurant. What are you talking about? Anyway, I was talking to some guys today, and everybody's got ball games today, kids and stuff. Well, man, come on in anyway. 5 guys. Yeah. Okay, I got you now. You funny. You got dad jokes tonight. Cool beans. I know. I talked to 5 guys at least. He says he's going to try to jump in. Y'all stay tuned. He said he's going to try to jump in between calls. All righty. Overpriced hamburger joint. Yeah, but they're so good, though. I will say that. Colt, what's going on, buddy? I ain't seen you in a long time. You've been chasing them turkeys all over Manchester. I have yet to go yet, buddy. I have yet to go. It doesn't look like I'm gonna make it this year. I got too much going on. But if you give me a call, and I know you're going to Manchester going to Manchester on a Friday or Saturday, let me know. I'll grab a camera and grab some camo and come and film for you. I just ordered 2 boxes of number 9s from Salt Creek. Awesome, thank you. Cool beans, man. Yeah, I like their ammo. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I've Yeah, you will not. See if I can put the flop on an old long beard. This is what I got. I don't know if you can read. There you go. That's what I got. I enjoy the fire. Oh man, thank you so much, buddy. I'm glad you liked it. I tell you one thing, I've gotten a lot of people who have called or texted me that have called or texted me about this thing, and they're not happy with me. But all I can say is I'm just telling what I think is the truth, and getting information from people who are more into it than I am. I mean, you can't know everything, right? I mean, there's no one out here that knows everything. If you find somebody who knows everything, then you need to get away from them, because they're filling you full of bull. Whoa. No, Cody, I don't know everything. I know a lot. We ain't talking about God. Oh, Lord. You're going to pick me apart tonight, aren't you, RD? But yeah, I talked to a lot of people in doing conservation, and have done prescribed fires, the whole 9 yards. And I'm in agreement with them. I just don't think we should be burning this time of year. I think burning is a good thing. I think it's a great thing. It's a great management tool. It's an awesome management tool, but you just don't burn this time of year. Oops, wrong account, but you still know more than me. You know what you know. What did I got a saying about that? Hang on. I got a saying. I wrote this down. When you know what you know, there is no need to entertain what they think. Right? No one knows everything, but I can appreciate you fighting for our wildlife and the resource. Thank you, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Oh man, we're gonna have some fun tonight. I got a feeling. RD is in here cracking dad jokes. Checks out. Oh, okay. Palmetto Gaming. Well, hey, how's it going? There you go, buddy. There you go, Cody. I like that. I'm the same way, dude. I don't care. Well, yeah. So what else are we gonna talk about? We've talked about ammo. We've talked about choke tubes. Talked about guns. I love talking about guns. Talk about prescribed fire a little bit. I'm Local Life's Outdoor Son. Yes, sir. I know who you are. How's your dad doing, by the way? Is he on here tonight? Y'all been down there catching them brim down on the Edisto? Ain't that the truth, Cody? We care about what they think. We care about what they think. They just don't care about what we think. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, do that for me. Tell them I said, hey, I need to get with you guys, man. I need to come up there and hang out with y'all for a day or two and do some fishing. You would almost drive to South Carolina duck hunt? Almost. Well, he come with me. But I will tell you a couple things that are going to happen. Number one, I will hit a tree with a boat. I will run into a tree. That is definitely going to happen. That's number one. And it's going to be in the dark, and it's going to be in the daytime. Number two, we probably won't kill a lot, but we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to eat some of the best sausage biscuits you've ever had in your life. Those will happen. That's those three things are guaranteed. Good calls. What kind? Mallard, wood duck calls, gadwall calls, pintail whistles. What do you want to talk about? Which one? All about the time outdoors, brother. Yeah, it is. Bring a helmet and Pepto-Bismol. And Cody can attest. All right. Let me go over here to my workbench. All right. Wood duck calls. Oh Lord, hang on. All right, hang on. Invite. Copy. Paste. Hit. All right, I just pasted it in the chat, Keith. Click that and go. And once you pop up, I'll let you know. I'll get you there. All right. As far as duck calls, I'm going to show you what I have on my lanyard, and you kind of get an idea of what I have. I have this is a Big Lake Outdoors made right here in South Carolina. It is their double reed. This is their T-Rex. It has a metal reed over a plastic reed. Has a real good sound to it. I'd blow it, but my wife's in the other room watching TV and she'll get mad at me. The next thing, the other two calls that I carry two cut down calls. I love cut down calls. This one is the Kirk McCulloch Outlaw duck call. He's out of Arkansas. Keith with Salt Creek Custom Ammo. He's the one that's going to be coming up. Once he hits that link and gets all his stuff gone through, he should be able to come up. I don't see him yet. But I use this cut down call. They will need to connect their cam, and you need to connect your video and your audio, dude. And this one, if I can find the wording on it. This one right here is made by the Waterfowl Company, again, in Summerton, South Carolina. Good friend of mine, Daryl Newman. And this is the WMA cut down call. I just got this one. I literally just got, I've blown it a couple times. I'm going to be doing a video on this, doing sound files and stuff like that a little bit later on as we get closer to duck season. But this is a great sounding little call. And if you're not used to blowing a cut down, this is the call you need to get right here. If you all you've ever done was blown like a double reeded J frame or a single reed J frame, you really need and you want to start blowing a cut down, this one's the one to do it. I don't think. Yeah, you need to add, Keith, if you're listening, you'll need to connect your mic and cam before you can add them to the stream. Before I can add you need to connect. For some reason you're not connecting. Yeah, the J-frame blows a lot different than a cut down. Wood duck calls. I'm going to get to believe somebody asked a question about teal calls, but I'll get to that in a second. Wood duck calls. There's a lot of people out there that make wood duck calls, and let's see. I mean, a lot of people. A lot of people make wood duck calls, but I like the Duck Commander wood duck call. All right, guys. I got a new guy coming in here. He's kind of an idiot, but that's all right. We're gonna get Keith from Salt Creek Custom Ammo, and as soon as I can get him up here, why ain't he going? And happy birthday, dude!
Thanks, man.
Happy birthday. Let me finish this little thing up real quick, and then I got some questions to ask you.
Sure.
But I like the wood duck call made by Duck Commander. It has a reed. Most of your other wood duck calls do not have reeds in them. They have a little piece of metal that's stamped in. I can get better sounds out of this particular wood duck call than I can get out of the others. That's just me personally. And as far as a blue-wing teal, again, Duck Commander teal call, one of the best I've had. I do have another one up on my shelf. It's an antique. It's a little wooden call, it's a little small wooden call, and it sounds absolutely wonderful. Actually sounds better than this one, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose that little thing, so I just leave it at home. So there's my calls. This is what I carry. I hope, what is it? Happy birthday, Key. Everybody's saying happy birthday. I don't know if you can read the chat or not, but everybody's saying happy birthday. So,
oh, there it is. I pulled it up.
Keith, thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
Listen, one of the guys in here, Stover Made Knives. That's his channel name. And he just got him a Sweet 16, pretty much like mine.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, he says he ordered 2 boxes of number 9s from you.
Sweet.
But we were talking about duck loads. And I know that, we've been talking about some things. I don't want to give too much out on that, but do you by chance make a vintage 16 gauge duck load for the 16 gauge? Do you make the vintage?
I have been just getting my butt kicked trying to develop a 16 gauge vintage bismuth load. Now the vintage stuff is kind of difficult. Like I'm trying to figure out what people want as far as what the deal is with those is the pressures. You have to get them within a certain pressure range. And what I'm having a hard time finding out is what the heck the pressure range is that people are comfortable shooting. Right. The loads that I have are in the low 8,000s, given the components that I have and the payloads that I've done. I've done a 1 ounce and a 7/8 ounce. But people think that that's too high still. Like, some guys don't want to shoot 8,000 PSI in their old Parker or whatever it is.
Right.
So I might have to lower because there's only so many powders you can play with right now. I don't know if anybody is aware of this, but the powder situation is kind of rough. So there's a lot of powders that lend themselves to 16 gauge better, and those powders are practically non-existent right now. So having to come up and do some fancy footwork with stuff that you can find, and it's like I said, it's kicking my butt. I've got a 7/8 ounce, so I might drop it to like 13/16 or maybe even 3/4 to get the pressures down where they're supposed to be. But I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. We were in here talking about TSS earlier. My personal, and we're talking 16 gauge here because the guy's in here with a 16 gauge.
Right.
And my personal favorite in the 16 gauge is a 1 ounce, 1 1/8 ounce, either one, number
Yeah.
9 TSS. And I was explaining to him that I was shooting at the time, because that's all I had, was an improved cylinder for comp and choke. I now have a skeet, and I now have a cylinder, and I found better patterns the more open I get. Can you kind of explain a little bit more, if you can, on the why you need to go open more with the TSS?
I'm still trying to figure that out myself, honestly. I don't it's really bass backwards to what you're normally used to. Like you start to blow them out when you're pushing those kind of speeds. It seems like you're blowing them out when you try to constrict them. It seems they at that speed, 1400 to 1600 feet per second duck speeds, they pattern better with less resistance down at the end of the bore. So I don't know. Like you said, I'm not an expert on choke technology and geometry and that kind of thing, but I don't understand it necessarily myself. But that's what I'm seeing pretty much across the board. 12 gauge down to even 410 cylinder choke just does better. I think it's a resistance thing. It doesn't want to get choked, so it's just what it is. It's strange.
Now, I know you have done this. I'm still hesitant about doing this. But we both have listened to a podcast in the past, and I can't remember who actually was the podcast owner. But it had Mueller choke tube, the guy from Mueller choke tubes,
Right?
And he was shooting threads. He just took his choke tubes out, and he's been shooting just bare threads.
Well, his thing with the threads is he doesn't shoot bare threads. I don't think, from what I've gathered, what he does is to make sure that there's nothing wrong with your barrel, you shoot threads first to make sure that it's actually shooting point of aim, point of impact. And then you put your chokes in and shoot again. And that's how you can narrow down if your chokes are junk or not, I guess, is if you're getting all kinds of, if it's shooting left or right or up and down with a different choke tube with a choke in it, then you need to get different chokes because it's supposed to be shooting point of aim. So I don't think he's necessarily hunting with bare threads. He probably has. The guy seems like he's been there, done that with pretty much everything. So
as many times as you shoot. One question: can you read the chat or?
I haven't been looking at it, but yeah, I can.
Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. There's a question for you. Do you use Mylar wraps in shells?
It depends on the shell. Mostly not, because the wads that I'm able to get are sturdy enough for TSS. You pick up wads at the end of the range, and there's no pinholes, there's no poke throughs, there's no scrubbing. So it's an added step that takes a long time, especially when you're talking about hand loading. To be quite frank, that stuff it just adds so much time. And like I said, it's not necessary for every load. Some loads I do use it for, like turkey stuff, some stuff, but in general, I try to stay away from it. Just try to use the right wads, and there's really no problems. So.
Right. Cody's trying to tell me, Luck, you need to leave a review on Salt Creek Custom Ammo website. I have. I'm sitting in 2 or 3 reviews. Now, whether you like them or not, kick them out, I don't know.
I don't know.
Stover saying, yeah, I'll order the turkey load 1 3/4 ounce number 9s. That's what he ordered today, or that's what I'm understanding anyway.
Nice.
I got Cody in here. He's trying to host shame me. I've left reviews, bud. Oh man.
Thanks for the business, by the way. That's really awesome. I appreciate it.
But I know Stover had some other questions. If he wants to say them over, because it's deep, somewhere deep in the chat. But anything new? Anything y'all got? Anything new coming up? Anything you want to talk about or can talk about?
I can talk about anything. It's your channel, dude. You know.
No, man. I mean, I'm just.
I don't know. I've got a few things. Like I said, the vintage 16. I'm trying to get that dialed in because I get all kinds of requests for those. That ammo line does pretty well. Like I just have a hard time keeping on track of it, and it's not in season per se right now. So I just been trying to focus on turkey stuff. I get people asking about waterfowl in April, and I'm like, dude, there's only so much I can do at once. But yeah, 16. I've been getting people asking about 10 gauge waterfowl as well, like TSS waterfowl. So I might be doing.
My gosh.
I have a 1 5/8 and the 1.5 ounce I think is more for turkey. It's pretty low velocity, but I've got a 1 5/8 straight TSS load for 10 gauge. That's pretty wicked. I think a lot of people are looking more for TSS steel duplexing in the 10 gauge, so I might be tinkering with that.
Right.
I might go heavy with it because it's 10 gauge. I might do 1 3/4 ounce.
My gosh.
Do like a half ounce. Do like a half ounce of TSS under like 1 1/8 ounce of steel. I think something like that.
I mean, you might as well just start shooting anti-aircraft guns at them. I mean, it's just, my gosh.
The problem with 10 gauge and 16 and 28, some of these like more uncommon gauges, I guess you could call them, is the component availability. The hulls right now are really hard to get. So it's hard to decide if I want to blow all my components and inventory on waterfowl when, I get, 10 gauge turkey stuff is, it is what it is. So I try to keep some stuff on hand. So I don't want to, I don't want to screw myself over, and you know what I'm saying? It's a balancing act, I guess, but I would love to just go full ham and provide a waterfowl shell in each of those. But I do have I do plan on doing 28 gauge waterfowl. I have a load that just came back from testing. It's 3/4 ounce at 1,500. So.
Oh, that sounds good. Is that going to be in the bismuth or the TSS?
That's TSS. I've got bismuth loads for custom orders if people want them. So.
Okay. Cody from After 5 is asking, when will you have defense loads back in stock?
I am working on the slugs as much as I can here and there. I've got the 5 and 6 pedal slugs in. I'm almost done loading the 5s. We're gonna wait till all the slugs are loaded, 5 and 6, then we'll just update the website and let the internet go crazy, I guess. So
there you go.
Just make sure that you're subscribed. There's a tab underneath the out of stock portion that you could say it says notify me when in stock. So you put in your email, and it will tell you when we upload that product, and it will send you an email, and you can go and purchase from there. So that's the best way to get updated. Buckshot, huh?
Yeah, he said he'd like some buckshot.
That was a placeholder for the slugs, just because I ran out of slugs, and anyway, I could always load those for him if he wants.
There you go.
Turkey season's kind of slowing down, so I mean I don't know, it's getting to that point where I'll be taking a lot more custom orders. So
duty is not to retreat. Oh gosh. Yeah, I can't talk up your shells enough. I know RD loves them. I know Jeff in here loves them. I absolutely love them. I have yet to find a bad one. And I've shot a lot of your stuff, testing, helping you testing and doing all this stuff. And I've yet to find a load I didn't like. There's some that I like better than others, but
Yeah.
That for me right now, it's the number 7 bismuth and the number 9 TSS. Oh, they just in there. RD Reynolds after 5. That's backwards for me. I use the 12 to kneel to none. We're gonna get all militant here in a minute, but I mean those are the two loads that I like, and I know that we've been talking about doing what I call the ultimate 16 gauge load for ducks.
Yeah,
and I'm excited.
16 gauge load.
The ultimate 16 gauge load. I'm excited. Yeah. you told me about it. I mean, I lit up. Old Man Shell is where.
Old Man Shell. Did you ever see that?
No, I haven't seen that.
He wanted me to make him a 1 ounce bismuth load for lighter recoil, and now he's obsessed with it and won't leave me alone about it.
Oh goodness, Old Man Shoulder. I'm older than he is.
That's 1 ounce in the Lord's gauge, Matt. The 12 gauge.
Lord's
right?
gauge. Y'all have y'all because y'all don't shoot 16s.
Yeah, I've got 2 16s. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you got one that
I'm hunting turkeys with 16 this year.
With the single shot?
Yeah.
That thing like ripped your arm off, didn't it?
Oh, it's heavy, dude. That anything in it just pounds you. It's only got that hard plastic butt pad to it,
Yeah.
Plate. It sucks to shoot, but you're not going to notice it, right? When you're in the field.
Nah.
Shooting on the bench or at the range sucks, but it's like a 4.5 pound gun, but whatever.
I like it. I like my 16.
It's not as bad as the 10 gauge in the single shot, I'll tell you that.
No, I don't think anything. That's just an artillery piece.
3 ounces in a single shot sucks. That'll wake you up.
Yeah, you sent me that picture of those tins with that. Well, man, all I got is my hat's off to the guy that shoots it because that's a man.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing the 10 this year, and I'm like, I'm not that mad at him yet.
Yeah, really.
It is a beast, though. People do love them. The 10 gauge people have figured me out, so it's been fun.
Oh, yeah.
So this Stover made knives. He says he's got 2 pounds of TSS. But the problem is that he
needs a new press.
Also, he sold his old one. Yeah, dude. Hats off to the hand loaders,
That's right.
RD thinks he's a hand loader now.
Yeah. RD thinks he's a lot of things.
I don't even know if he's in here still.
Oh, yeah, I know he's in here. He's in there. He's in there trying to figure out what to write again.
He's pacing the room, trying to come up with something good.
Mm-hmm. Him and Cody both. They'll just come up with something off the wall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're not texting each other. We should say this. We should say that.
But yeah, I've been thinking, going back to what your question was, there's a few things I've got in the works. Thinking about doing a heavier TSS duck load in 20 and 12 gauge. I'm thinking like 1.5 ounce, 3-inch 12 gauge, and possibly like 1 1/8 ounce in 20 gauge. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Seems like people want more. It's crazy. Like I was going down the line and like trying to come up with lighter loads, thinking that's what people wanted, but the people that are really into TSS waterfowl want heavier. It's just crazy, right?
It is, because I mean, if you can shoot a swan with a number 9
1
in
ounce, yeah.
TSS, you can shoot anything. I mean,
Right.
it's you can shoot anything.
I've got people in Iowa that are going to be shooting turkeys with the 12 gauge triple curl. So
Oh yeah,
we'll see how that works. I mean, it should work just fine, but
yeah.
I have a double barrel shot Salt Creek ammo and Boss, switching back and forth between barrels and Salt Creek bismuth. Outperformed the War Chief hands down. Nice. Very nice.
Here we go. He's a master loader.
I'm here to keep RD safe, keep all of his faculties and his limbs and all that. So
Yeah, I'll never forget that first phone call after I got some ammo from you, and the first thing you said to me, says, "Your gun didn't blow up, did
it?" Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Stoner. Appreciate you coming in. If you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, and you're welcome anytime, man. Just come on in. Every Monday night at 8:00, I have a live stream. Grant, how you doing? Oh. But yeah, dude, I mean, anything you want to talk about as far as the company? For those that don't know, he's Facebook, Instagram, and got a website. So hook him up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm here to answer questions, or
Y'all come up with something, man. I can't ask them all. What Well, there's one. How long you been in business?
since the beginning of February 2023, so pretty new.
But you've been doing this for quite some time, though, as far as loading.
Oh yeah, I've been doing it for probably a decade now, I think. So
Would TSS and bismuth make a good duplex?
I'm not sure. I've heard mixed reviews from people that do duplexing more, and some people swear by it's like everything, right? Like it's hard to, I have to tinker with it, but some people say it, they swear by it. I know people that hunt with them and they do really well. And then there's some people that say it's junk because when you put the bismuth on top of the TSS, the bismuth fractures. So it's that's already an issue when you're loading a straight bismuth anyway. It's a very frangible metal type. So when you put it on top of a hard metal, it's just going to break apart even more. So I've heard mixed reviews. I don't know if I have a definitive answer. It should work just fine, but I haven't messed with it, so I can't say one way or the other.
Let's see here.
Strictly the
RD says I should do a chicken dance for Keith on his birthday. That ain't happening. Just saying. Cody's asking, do you load any steel or strictly the high dollar MattWongrey loads?
I try to stay away from steel. There's just really no money in it, really. That's all it comes down to, is when I'm hand loading and I don't have a progressive way of loading steel to make it worth my time. So if I can hand load the same shell with TSS as I could steel, as far as a business standpoint, just straight up, it's not necessarily worth my time unless you want to pay for it. I mean, we're talking, it's not crazy. I think I quoted people before. It was maybe $30 to $35 for ounce and a quarter steel, but people are like, oh, I want to pay $16 for Winchester Super X. Like, why would I pay for your stuff? It's that kind of mentality that I generally run into, but even a hand loaded steel round is way better than any kind of factory load you could get. So I kind of guess it just comes down to what you want to pay for. So
Can you read that?
yeah. The difference is that TSS is around 60% more dense than lead. So from all the charts that I've seen, you can basically double your ballistics downrange. We're talking long range, twice as much penetration at the same distance, more energy, higher velocities at range, which transfers to the energy. So, yeah, 12 gauge. You're getting way higher pellet counts too. I mean, you're like Matt said, in a 1 ounce load of number 9s, you're getting roughly 360 something pellets. So, with the ballistic efficiency or even better realistically, of like a number 4, number 5 lead. So you're probably putting in an extra 150 something pellets or something like that. And then, it's just kind of crazy next level stuff. So it's hard to explain really to people unless they actually shoot it.
Well, once you shoot it, and of course, we can't shoot lead at waterfowl, and I'm assuming he was talking about turkey loads.
Yeah, well, I mean, for turkey loads, it's nothing compares. I mean,
right, nothing.
Longbeard XRs are the king of lead loads, and they do perform pretty well, but at distance, they don't have the oomph. That's where TSS shines, in my opinion, in any genre of shotgunning. I think it's 50 plus is where you're going to start seeing the real benefits of TSS, 50, 60 yards. So,
I mean, I patterned the triple curl 7s at 70 yards.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable what I got in that 30 inch circle. And I know it was, I mean, when it hit, you could still, even at 70 yards, you could see the paper flying out of the back of the target. Yeah. I mean, it's got plenty of punch. RD saying he killed a spec at 70 yards with your TSS number 8s.
Mm-hmm.
I shot a swan at 40 yards with number 9s and a 16. So yeah, mm-hmm. I mean, it's just a better shell. And here's a good question.
Sorry, I'm battling allergies still, so if I cough and sneeze, I apologize. Do you notice more fractures in plated versus non-plated bismuth? No. The key to getting lower fracturing for bismuth is having a 6% tin mixture. The plating really doesn't add anything to it. And real experts will actually tell you that. So don't fall for the marketing hype about plated bismuth. It has nothing to do with it. It's the core of the pellet is what matters. So
Cody's saying sucks for the guys on the blind across the swamp getting pelted. Don't set up so close. That's all I got to say. What is and as far as duck loads go, and this is all gauges, I know the triple curl is your mainstay.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as shot sizes, what is your biggest seller, I should say?
Number 9 is the highest selling shot size that we have in waterfowl, turkey. So it went number 9, number 10, and then number 8 in that order. So
If you go any lower, you're gonna be shooting dust, right? Lower than a 10.
you're not going to rest till you shoot a duck with a freaking
I am not gonna rest. I
like
shoot ducks
a number 11 or number 12 TSS, huh?
I am not gonna rest. I gotta have them. I gotta have some. I gotta shoot the dust. I got to, man.
I'll buy some tungsten dust for you and send them to you.
Yeah, I gotta shoot a duck with some TSS.
What we're talking about, it's an inside joke. I told him that the smallest shot size you can buy for TSS is number 12s. And on the charts, it says anything smaller is considered tungsten dust. So he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna dust them, man." Like, it's I don't know what kind of ballistics you'll get with that small shot size. So I don't know. Be interesting to see. 5,000 pellets. Yeah, I mean,
TSS 12.
Well, I think.
Hello, Josh.
I think it was. I don't know what the heck I'd have to go and look, and I haven't even looked into that. That'd be crazy. But yeah, I think 10.5s were like 870 pellets per ounce or something like that. So number 11, I don't even know. You're probably upwards of 1,000 pellets.
When will you start taking orders for waterfowl loads?
I've been telling people May, June, but that could be earlier. I mean, I'm just kind of playing it by ear. There was a break in sales for turkey, and then it just started to get stupid again for some reason. So I don't know.
I can't count that high. I just think I know it's an inside joke. I know it's a joke. Of course, I would never shoot dust at a duck, but it would be a cool thing. I mean,
it's fun to think about, Not dust,
especially if you put it in like a 410 shell.
I'm not thinking dust. Like what I'm thinking is like when you're talking about like smaller,
like
11s or something. But yeah, I don't know.
11 or 12s and a 410.
At like 25 yards, I don't think it really matters. Like,
yeah, that's the truth.
You getting them in the timber, like you could throw your shot at them and probably kill them.
There you go. There's a name.
Sparkles.
Yeah. I got these guys are on rare form tonight. They must have nothing going on.
Yeah.
Oh man. Because the two are in here that are chatting the most. They hardly ever say anything when they come in here.
I haven't been on the chat for a while. This is usually when we put kids to bed, so.
Oh. I'm assuming this is for you.
What is your favorite bismuth load for duck over decoy choke?
Over decoy choke also.
I shoot and mess around with so many loads. I liked my 1 1/4 ounce. It shot really well out of modified. Out of, over decoys, I'd probably open it up to like improved cylinder, if not cylinder. Seeing what it can do. I mean, we're talking furthest 25 yards, right? I mean, if you're, I don't know, decoys, I guess it depends on who you're talking to, but I would assume inside 30 yards, right? So
That's what I would say.
Ounce and a quarter. I've been messing with an ounce and a half bismuth load. That shoots really well out of cylinder. I mean, it's just, I think it's an ounce and a half of fives. It's stupid at 25, 30 yards. So, but yeah, I think people in general should be opening up their choke tubes. I think we're stuck on this whole full choke, put 50 million pellets on them. And it's like, I think our wing shooting would increase dramatically if we opened up our choke tubes.
Cody's saying he's so bored he got to watch the guy that tried to end my life. All right, so I gave him food poisoning and then ran him into a tree, and he's never going to let me forget it. Jeff wants to know the shot size on your bismuth.
On what I provide or what I like to shoot?
No, what you like to shoot over decoys?
I've only really shot fives for the most part. I don't think you'd see any that big of a difference over decoys, even down to 7 shot. So I know you like 7s.
I like 7s. Yeah.
I think the more pellets, the better. If you're used to shooting inside 30 yards, I mean, experiment with different shot sizes. I think, you wrap a duck up with 6s, 7s, crap, even 8s with bismuth. I think you're just, there's nothing that's going to make it through that.
I can't even fail.
Black powder. Yeah. Yeah, I like 5s in general for over decoy. Like passing, I like 4s. 4s are, if I'm gonna take one load and not have to mess around with a bunch of different stuff, I'll take a number 4. Just for the if I have to shoot longer or if there's geese or anything like that, I'd like to shoot a number 4. But 5s can reach out. I've seen 5s do some stupid things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have to.
Like I've seen my dad with that ounce and a quarter load shoot it. I was shooting TSS a lot. He liked to shoot the bismuth. It shot in his A5 like crazy. And he was taking 50, 60 yard shots on ducks. So
I like, I prefer 7s, but if all I have is 5s, that works.
Yeah.
I normally, when I shoot 7s, I'm shooting improved cylinder, and I have a 28-inch barrel, so I'm going to shoot improved cylinder 90% of the time. And if I put 5s in and I'm having to pass shoot, I'll crank it up to a modified tube. Best wood duck load for timber, a number 8 Remington Dove and Coil load.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. That's because they don't make
high brass 8s.
That's because they don't make, Winchester doesn't make a good number 8 anymore.
Legal load.
Oh, legal load. Oh, so you gotta be specific, not Pacific. I like 7s. I was shooting last year, Cody. I shot all my ducks, basically with a number 7 load, bismuth load. Everything I was shooting until I ran out of 7s. I was shooting ducks with number 7, wood ducks, mallards, everything. Forgot who I was talking to. Yeah. You know what? Let's see if I can do something real quick. Well, create a banner.
I don't know. Thinking logically now, for timber, not that I have a whole lot of experience shooting wood ducks and timber. Out west, we shoot open water for the most part. There's some tight quartered situations you can get into, but if I was to shoot timber at a wood duck in a timber situation, I'd want like something lighter recoiling, you don't need a lot of velocity, and smaller shot sizes with a huge blanket of shot for tons of forgiveness with a super open choke. I'd probably shoot at biggest maybe fives, anywhere between 5 and 7 bismuth, right?
Right.
You'd probably only need like a 1 ounce load, depending on what your gauge is and whatnot. But even a 3/4 ounce bismuth load in a 28 gauge with like sixes or sevens would be great for wood ducks in a situation like that.
You see the banner?
It depends on the factory choke, I guess. The outlaw years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, if your factory choke is shooting well for you, stay with a factory choke. That is what I say. When I bought my 16, those chokes were crap. RD will tell you they were crap. He shot it, I shot it. We microed it. It was just terrible. And that's why I went to, comp and choke. But I have guns back here that have factory tubes that shoot very well. So
Yeah.
I think it's you're getting out there and getting on a pattern board, seeing what your gun's doing, seeing what that choke tube's doing. Don't buy brown. They don't come with all the parts needed. Yeah.
Isn't that a shame? Do you think John Browning's actually crying in his grave right now?
Oh, he's rolling over, beating the side of the door in. He's getting ready to kick. He's getting ready to kick that top hatch open and come on out. And yeah, he missed hitting the barn. I'm telling you, man, those tubes are terrible. But once we got it dialed in, got the new tubes in, it started.
I don't know what it is.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't know what it is with Browning and their tubes, but yeah, I guess if you buy a Browning, just might as well go from the gun counter to the choke tube aisle. And
He's saying John Brown is TSS dust now. Yeah, I don't have an answer for their tubes other than I think they patterned them with their ammo and let it go.
Well, did they though?
I don't know. I haven't said anything to them.
What is their procedure? What is their they're made in Belgium, aren't they?
I don't know where the new ones are made at now.
There's they make them in Belgium and Morocco.
I got a Japanese Browning back here.
Right.
Made in Japan.
Yeah, like what RD says, I think it's just hit and miss. I think that's generally speaking with any factory tubes. You could get a good batch that was made on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you could get some that are made on a Monday
or Friday afternoon.
Friday swing shift. Yeah, I don't know.
The extended Goose Band DS are the bad ones. Yeah.
Yeah. See, my brother shoots the A5 Wicked Wings in 12 gauge, and he's murderous with just factory. Was he shooting a factory? The DS tubes, I think it was modified or improved modified with factory steel shot, and he was just killing stuff with it. So I think it just depends.
I think my gun was definitely a Monday morning or a Friday afternoon gun.
Went with the Briley flush mounts. Yeah, the Brileys are good. I don't think you can go wrong with the Briley tube. I haven't messed with those much, but everything I've seen looks pretty good.
Now you like True Lock, right?
I like True Lock. Yeah,
Yeah.
they make good tubes. Scott Truelock's really nice to work with. He's a heck of a guy. So his
Cool.
tubes, I don't think I've shot a bad pattern with any of his tubes. So especially waterfowl.
I just don't think you need waterfowl tubes. The so-called waterfowl tubes. I think you're straight up. If you're going to buy a factory tube, just, I mean, a aftermarket tube, like what I got with Comp and Choke, it's just full modified. There's nothing in there that says this is a waterfowl tube. And I think if you stick with that, in my opinion, if you stick with that and just shoot either full mod, improved, or improved mod or whatever, that you'll just come out a whole lot better.
Right.
And just go ahead and get the set.
I think they try to make it easier for people to understand. Like you ask somebody, do you shoot a modified or improved cylinder? They're like, a what? Most people are just like, I don't know, whatever came in the gun.
Right.
So I think if you get those people that want to get a different tube, you have to say, this is a close range, this is a mid range, and this is a long range. Just kind of not dumb it down, but just make it easier for people to figure out. So,
or just dumb it down.
Or dumb it down.
Yeah. They probably had to go find 16 gauge parts because no one buys them. Oh, Lord. The Lord's gauge. All you guys with the Lord's gauge.
The Lord's gauge.
If you're going to say that a 12, no, if you want to, the Lord's gauge is a 10 gauge. That's the Lord's gauge. Because it's only the Lord can handle the dang thing.
Excuse me.
In the heat of the summer, what kind of hunting do you miss most of all?
I miss duck hunting every time of the year that it's not going on. So,
or you're not out there doing it. I'm the same way. In the summer, I miss duck hunting. I miss it every day.
That would be the devil's gauge. The 10 gauge.
The devil's gauge. 10 gauge was BC. Exactly. The Lord was first.
I don't know, dude. I work on two different ends of the spectrum. I get the diehard 10 gauge people, and then, I guess speaking of turkey loads, given the time of the year, I guess, but yeah, I work on two ends of the spectrum, man. Like the 410, 28 gauge small bore stuff, and then the big crazy 12 gauge 3.5, 10 gauge 3 ounce. Like it's just there's hardly anything in the middle. So
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to revamp the 16 gauge. To me, it's just an all-around gun, and especially in especially the Sweet 16. And I know that it's got some problems. I understand that, but it's a light gun. It's you can carry it in the field all day. It's not a heavy gun. The loads are perfect. You can shoot quail, doves, ducks, geese, swans. And I'm not saying you can't do that with the other gauges. I'm just saying the 16 is a perfect gauge. I mean, you got the lightness of a 20 and the knockdown power of a 12. So after 5 is After 5 is sending everybody to English class, just to let y'all know.
The Guaje.
If I say Guaje, I'm writing with my left hand. Gauge is with my right. Oh, goodness. This is kind of nights I like. Everybody's just cutting up, having a good time. So y'all didn't do anything special tonight other than you just decided to come on my live stream? I mean,
pretty much I got up and we went to breakfast as a family and then came home. I went to work.
Yeah.
Or went back to work and came home, got dinner. I mean, we've been throwing down on eating out, but besides that, we really haven't been doing anything. I'm 33 years old, man. I don't give a crap about birthdays.
Young Buck. Oh, he's done changed his name again. Or either he's got his phone, either 407K9 and After 5 Outdoors are the same person. So,
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Trans YouTuber. After Trans Outdoors, that's what he's all about.
I'm sorry, say that again.
After Trans Outdoors.
After Trans Outdoors. I was really hoping you were going to dress up in with your little black hat and all that good stuff tonight.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been dying from all this freaking allergy shit.
Oh, Lord. Let's see. That's funny. My late great uncle willed me his 10 gauge. Grandfather and my father said they would sell it. I cherished it. Would have shot it. It put me on my ass, so I won't shoot it. Artie's asking if it's still cold where you are.
Nights it gets down to like 50s, maybe upper 50s.
Let's see.
It's like 70s in the day. It's like perfect right now. It's just the plants was messing with me. So
right.
90 degrees. Good grief.
That was last week. Today, I think it didn't hit over 50, man. It was cold outside.
Really?
Whew. Yeah, the temperatures dropped. On
20 something. Where the heck are you at? Where are you? Like Canada?
he might as well say he is. He's in
South Dakota, North Dakota,
Minnesota.
Oh, good grief. Good grief, eh?
Up there in Minnesota.
Northwest Minnesota.
Northwest Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh man. We got about 20 more minutes, man, and this 2-hour day will be up. This is going pretty good. I like this. But we had thunderstorms with hail. Yeah, I know, dude. I was there. I was over at Craig's house Saturday, and I left just in time.
As far from Minneapolis as geographically possible.
Yeah.
We flew into Minneapolis a few weeks ago to hunt Iowa, and yeah, I can definitely see why. That airport is a cluster. Oh.
Father Time, how old are you? I am 59, buddy, and I'll still out and get y'all in the swamp.
33 G's. Yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah, 44. Jeez. Luckily, it wasn't a Black Hawk Down remake.
Dude, I'm telling you, with this whole Boeing mumbo jumbo going on, I was like, dude, if this plane goes down, like, I don't know.
Well, you got any trips already lined up for this year to go hunt ducks?
Tentatively, I've got a trip to Idaho, hunting mallards and whatever else flies in front of us. We always do Wyoming. We'll do Wyoming with a bigger group this time. It's all family group, so we'll have more cousins and uncles with us there. So,
Right.
Probably just sticking locally for the most part.
Claude's asking, have either of you hunted Kansas for ducks? I have not personally. I want to. It's on my bucket list, but I have not.
Yeah, I'd love to hunt Kansas.
This is what kind of friends you got, buddy.
If plane goes down, I'm running over to show you. You can have them, dude. Yep, you can have them. If I go down, they're all yours, man.
Magnus Claus. Lord. That'd be a good in the auto reloader. Boy, you got some good friends in here, buddy.
You can have that piece of crap. I've been fighting that thing for a year.
That's not the one you just got fixed, is it?
Yeah.
You still fighting it?
Well, no, I it's working now, I guess, but I've got it making slugs, but I'm trying to see if it can make duck loads. That'd be a lifesaver if it could make duck loads, which was the whole point in the first place. But I've been fighting it forever, and it's been a pain in the butt. So no, I throw wrenches at it and swear and cry a little bit sometimes. I should talk sweet to it.
She's asking she's asking you, me or the reloader. I know that's why you looked up.
No, she's like, we're almost done. We're always 15 minutes. We can wait 15 minutes. This is fun.
I love doing this. I like having you up here, man.
I just don't know. I just don't know what to say. Like,
whatever. I mean, everybody wants to know your operation. I mean, just,
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple setup. It's not like I've got super sophisticated machinery in there. You only got so much you can do with hand loading. So,
right. Oh, and let your wife know I got that email and I like it. So if she's listening, I like it. Thank you.
Right on.
Yeah, Cody, because I know what you will say. I get Cody up here. I have to have a conversation prior. All right, Cody, we're not talking about this. We're not talking about that. because
You
he'll
won't
try
let
to
him talk
push me
about.
over into politics.
You won't let him talk about like conspiracy theories and
Oh, and politics and
politics and all that stuff.
right.
Only the truth.
Yeah. RD, all he wants to do is talk about turtles.
I like turtles.
I like turtles. Turtle. Mama say stupid is, stupid does. But no, man.
I don't know.
I
I guess I could ask your audience like what people
yeah.
are looking for. Like what's something different. Like I'm always trying to get a feel for what I don't know what's missing in the market or what people are looking for their ammo. I guess what holes could I fill? That's kind of what I like to do is fill gaps in the market.
And now we got sheep loads. Oh Lord. And
Sheep
RD want to know
loads.
about Peter Pan.
I'm laughing at the Peter Pan comment. That's weird.
Yeah. It took him an hour to figure how to write that. Feel holes. Oh man. This whole conversation is gonna went south 3 times. Yeah, what do y'all want? I mean, what do y'all want in ammo? I know what I want. I want the ultimate 16 gauge duck load. That's what I want. Now we're going to talk about Captain Hook's toilet paper. Band-Aid.
Looking at the comment, Claude is his name, right? I hope I said that right. Thanks,
Yeah.
buddy. Appreciate it.
Oh, I missed that one. Here, let's throw that up there.
Master Chef. I don't know about that, but
Well, what do you want, RD? Other people might want to know. Other
he knows
people
what I want.
might want to know, buddy.
RD wants a steel TSS duplex, is what he wants.
A steel duplex. Why? When you got bismuth and TSS out there.
Yep.
Slugs for deer.
I've got so I work with Ryan Goodell. He's owner of Goodell Shot Shell Co. He makes specialty slugs as a component. I hate to say this out loud, and maybe it's too soon, but he might be doing ammo on his own. So maybe I don't have to mess with slugs anymore, but I could definitely get deer slugs and load them for you.
There you go.
He's also a plastics engineer by trade, professionally, and he's making all kinds of crazy tail wads and stuff like that. I'm not an expert on slugs, but so he's the guy that I go to for any of that stuff, and I can definitely make them for you. I want to shoot an elk this year. There's over the counter tags you can get for any legal weapon, and I want to shoot an elk with the slug. That'd be kind of fun.
Not Browning, of course. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the Browning thing, there's nothing about Browning at this point that's really making me want to run out and get one. I was wanting to get a Maxis too for the longest time, but at this point, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw somewhere on a Facebook page somewhere where a guy is missing a hammer spring on his.
On the Maxis?
I think it was a Maxis.
Good grief.
And Beretta A400. You know, if Beretta made a reliable, if they made a 16 gauge, I'd probably buy one.
You're a 16 gauge guy. You should be getting. So I was looking online. They've got the. I was looking at TriStars. I know it's TriStar, right? But
Right.
They make the G2 Bronze. It's like the G2 Bronze Pro, and then just their standard wood, walnut, and like blue model for 16 gauge.
TriStar's making them now. I have to look them up.
That's an auto loader. It's their G2 line.
Yeah.
The bronze look pretty nice. It's got that. It's a wooded stock, but it's got that like burnt bronze receiver and barrel finish to it.
16 gauge Matt trying to hold on to his childhood. I'll tell you something, man. That's a good gun. I got one in here. I got a Remington in here, and it is heavy. I mean, it's heavier than any 12 gauge you'll put in your hands. But it was a 16. It's basically a 16 built on a 12 gauge frame. They just dialed the bore down to make it a 16.
Yeah, they built those, and not necessarily my opinion. I don't know if it really matters, but in a lot of people's opinions, the true 16 gauge fans, they didn't like those because they weren't built right. They were supposed to be built on a smaller frame.
Right.
But they're good guns nonetheless. In all seriousness, the 16 gauge lost popularity because in the 20s, the ATA, like whatever the official trap association is, they standardized 410, 28, 20, and 12 gauge for clay shooting events. So the 16 and the 10 gauge were on the decline ever since that point. And then when you started the steel shot ban, or the lead shot ban, transitioning to steel shot really hurt it because people were only making, for the most part, 12s and 20 gauges, 10 gauges that could handle steel shot. So a lot of different combinations that kind of took its toll on the 16 gauge. So
yeah, Charles, I would love to have a 16 gauge, a Purdy 16 gauge.
Oh my gosh, you gonna pay $25,000 for it?
I'd still love to have it. It's like I'd love to have a Krieghoff, and I don't care what gauge it is. It'll never get put together and it'll never get shot, but I'd still love to have one. It will stay in its original wrapper until I decide to sell it. But
if people want, so what's going on right now, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the English are ditching a lot of their old English-made side-by-side shotguns for dirt cheap. You can get in between $500 and $1,000. We're talking hand scroll engraved receivers, hand checkering, everything's in mint condition and stuff. They're switching from their old side-by-sides to over and unders that can handle steel shot because they're banning lead in every corner of the shooting sports out there. So right now, if you can get your hands on, I've seen Purdy's go. I mean, they're the lower end models, but they're going for, sub $2,000 or so.
Wow.
So it's kind of a thing. It's kind of a thing coming back in the U.S. is hunting with old double guns and bismuth and all that kind of stuff. So
Anti's asking me to remind what happened in the Sweet. All right, so on my Sweet 16 that I got brand new, the choke tubes were trash. That was the number one thing. Choke tubes were not any good. The patterns were all over the place. We microed it. Me and RD actually did it, and they were way off the charts. They weren't even close to being what they were supposed to be. So I got new choke tubes, and then right after the duck season this year, I went out to go shoot, and my gun would hang up and would not feed the second shell in. And we were just shooting clays. And I shot a bunch of different shells thinking, well, maybe it just doesn't like this particular one because I'm shooting a low brass 8 at clay targets. But it was doing with everything I had. I shot Keith's loads that I'd shot all year, and it was still doing the same thing. So I took it back to the gun shop where I bought it because it's still under Browning's warranty, and we were going to send it back. And they had already had another brand new Sweet 16, basically with the same issues. But that gun had a bent firing pin and no firing pin spring. And when they looked at my gun, the firing pin was good, but it did not have a firing pin spring. So they got firing pin springs, they put them in, and to be honest with you, the gun shoots now smoother, faster, just because of that little spring. That's what had me frustrated. Where are Brownings made? I don't know where this one's made at, to be honest.
They make them in Belgium, Japan,
Sprang,
Portugal, and the U.S. So I think it depends on what you're buying. I don't know where their A5s are made, but
take care, Charles. Have a good one, man. Appreciate you coming in.
I wonder if I can do a Google search on that.
I don't know.
Browning A5 shotguns. Belgium. Currently manufactured in Belgium by the company FN Herstal.
Hi, I'm a search engine. Have we met?
Okay, so it looks like the parts are manufactured in Belgium, but they're assembled in Portugal.
And there you go.
So you got Portuguese people assembling your shotguns.
Yep.
Portuguese gun. That's what we're going to call it.
Well, guys, we got about 2 minutes left. If y'all have any more questions for Keith, let me know. Put them in the comments ASAP. Because I know he's got things to do. It's his birthday. He should be got something to do. No presidents of the United States fans in here. Jeez. Anybody got anything for Keith? Oh, I'm a fan of the president, the true president, the one that's supposed to be there. But y'all ain't getting me going down that rabbit hole in a minute. Jeff says, thanks for spending a little of your birthday with us. God bless, and go get them in the marsh.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, guys. Well, we're getting ready to wrap this up. Keith, thanks for coming on at the last minute. I appreciate it. You're welcome anytime. So if you want to come back on here and chat and talk and whatnot,
yeah.
If you got something new that comes up you want to talk about,
we should do like a mega. We should do like a mega chat.
We need to. I might do that next Monday. I might think about that next Monday. Just get about 4 or 5 people up here in the chat and have a good time.
Next Monday's start of our turkey season, so I might not be around, but
Oh, okay. Well, we can plan it a little
Go
bit
at
later
it
on.
anyway, though.
We can plan it a little bit later on. But yeah, I think you got a good idea there. All right, guys. Well, listen, Keith, again, thanks so much for coming in. Guys, I appreciate y'all coming in tonight. We've had a great time.
Build back better. That's right. Browning's following Biden's Build Back Better plan.
There you go. I appreciate y'all coming in, but we're going to call it a night. And yeah, even you. I'll even put you in here, Cody. Anyway, y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all next time on Daddy Duck. Catch you next Monday. Bye, y'all.